Hello, lovelies. This is Amber from Autumn on Fox Street, and I'm here today to talk about why I'm going on a no-buy for summer. So, in the Project Pan communities and in other portions of the beauty community, it's very common for people to talk about like low buys where they only spend so much money on makeup, or no buys in which they don't buy anything, or there's kind of this like one in, one out. I don't know what people really call it, but it's like when you only buy a new foundation if you've used up a foundation, or buy an eyeshadow palette if you've used up an eyeshadow palette. And I think there's a lot of talk about like makeup addiction and whether or not that's like a real thing, as far as like a real addiction. But I think spending is a real addiction, and I think that comes out in different places. There are people who buy tons of shoes or tons of handbags or whatever, whatever the spending, the things that you like to spend your money on are. But I think there's different reasons why people are kind of addicted to spending. For me personally, it's a stress thing. Like shopping makes me feel better. Like I know we joke about retail therapy and that kind of stuff, but it's not really a joke. Like it's very expensive and it's very damaging to, people's finances and that kind of thing. So I think it is a real problem for a lot of people. And for me personally, it's been a problem lately. Like I was very pregnant and very hormonal, and I went almost 2 weeks past my due date, and that was becoming very stressful, and I was experiencing false labor a lot. So I would have like really consistent contractions and then they would stop. And so I thought I was in labor and this baby was finally coming, and he didn't. And then he did. And I labored unmedicated for 24 hours and had a 10-pound baby. So he's like a giant baby. And that was amazing. Labor was really, really empowering for me, but it was definitely the most intense thing I've ever done in my entire life. And then, postpartum, you're still like really hormonal, and you're dealing with sleep deprivation and baby stress. So there was a lot of stress happening, and it really impacted how much money I was spending on makeup, and it's not good. My husband and I have financial goals and things like that we want to reach. We want to buy a house and those kinds of things. So spending a lot of money on makeup or on anything that isn't really necessary or that's excessive is really damaging to our finances. So it's almost May now. I'm filming this at the end of April, and my goal for the summer is May through July. I'm not going to be buying any makeup. It's gotten to the point now where I actually have products that I've like hoarded over the last month or two, like a lot of them, and I haven't even gotten a chance to try them yet because, postpartum I wasn't wearing a lot of makeup, and because I was dealing with having a new baby. So there's all these things that I haven't even tried. I've got eyeshadow palettes. I've got concealers that are not even opened. I've got lip products I've swatched and have not used. I have a collection of primers and foundation, like just everything you can imagine, highlighters. There are just, products that I haven't gotten a chance to try. There are products I've used a few times, and I haven't been able to decide if I even like those products. I'm trying to find where there's like decent light here. Sorry, guys. It's really hard in my living room. You're probably hearing like baby noises in the background, and that's my little man just kind of making noises to himself. But moving on and back on topic, it's just really important to me to be more aware of how I'm spending my money, and also to be using the things that I have. There's nothing cool about hoarding makeup like a crazy makeup dragon. So yeah, I'm going on a no-buy from May through the end of July, and I'm going to be posting updates, and hopefully I'll be successful with that. I don't want to say hopefully, because I feel like hopefully sets people up for failure. Like, hopefully I'm going to do this, and in the back of your head you're like, but I could probably break it, it would be fine. And I just bought a whole bunch of single pan eyeshadows to do custom eyeshadow pans. So I just did like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed to admit this, but I just made probably like 8 or 10 custom eyeshadow palettes, and they were like 12 shadow palettes. So it's definitely been a lot of makeup products that I've been buying and hoarding and not using up. So for the summer, I'm really going to be focused on using products that I haven't used yet and ones that I've used a few times and haven't really made a decision as to whether or not I like them. And also working on my project pans so that I'm using things up and intentionally, consciously trying to use up products, especially things that are older in my collection and need to be moved out of my collection. So that's my goal for the summer. And I know a lot of people are doing no buys this time of year, especially because it's like vacation season and that kind of thing. A lot of people are saving to go places. If you're doing a no buy and if you're doing videos and updates, I would love for you to link me to that below so I can check out what you're doing. Otherwise, stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and I'll be posting updates over the summer.